Hello, Constitutional Law 2 classmates. My name is Juan Martinez, and this is my interpretation of Marberry versus Madison. So we have the election of 1800 between Thomas Jefferson and John Adams, where Thomas Jefferson eventually beats John Adams. John Adams is the now outgoing president and starts hating on Thomas Jefferson. So in this moment of, I would assume, rage or just the fact that he's no longer going to be the president, he starts appointing all kinds of people. Although in his the purpose for his appointments was to make things uncomfortable for Thomas Jefferson because the people that John Adams was appointing were all Federalists like Mr. Adams. So kind of very similar to what goes on in our politics today, where our presidents try to appoint chief justices or individuals within politics that are probably going to still make some sort of decisions long after the president is gone. This is something that at that point in time, the US government was fairly new. So that's how it is different from the way the government is ran now. Back then, even though they had the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights, it was still only going to be the third president of the US. So they were still trying to tweak things out. But the good thing was that the Constitution was in place, the Bill of Rights was in place, so they were able to go to court for it. Um, the one that ended up losing here, I guess, aside from John Adams, was Mr. Marbury because he eventually gets denied his appointment. Funny to say that eventually Thomas Jefferson and John Adams became very, very good friends. Back in the day, they became good pen pals. So as mentioned, John Adams loses the election and he just starts appointing people left to right. You're a judge, you're a judge. How about you? You want to be a judge? And he just starts handing them out. And at that point in time, the president was able to appoint chief justices and justices of the peace and all kinds of good stuff. Although he needed to have the letters of appointment signed and sealed and into the presidency before a certain time frame. The thing is that these letters were signed and sealed, but were not delivered to the president on time. Therefore, at that point in time, Mr. President Jefferson declines the appointment, voids the appointment, and says no. He tells Mr. Madison, no, it's not going to be appointed. It's too late. And then one of the chief justices, the appointed chief justice, Marbury, was upset. So he made a big stink out of it, takes it to court, goes into what is now called Marbury and Jefferson. I guess even though the U.S. Postal Service at that point in time didn't really exist, I guess that was the fault of the snail mail at the time. So we have John Adams losing his bid for re-election. He becomes a one-term president. He gets upset. Obviously, on his way out, he starts making a ton of judicial appointments towards the end of his term, some of which the commissions did not get delivered. And those commissions that did not get delivered was Marbury's. Marbury gets upset. He sues in order for to get heard that hey, it should count because at the point in time Adams was still was the president interim, and he felt that since his letter was signed and sealed, that he should have been appointed. The voting of the court was a unanimous one, but the court did state that although Marbury was deserving of the commission, that the court could not make the Secretary of State, at that time it was Madison, deliver it because the law had made them because the law that had made them deliver was unconstitutional. One aspect that I think I would change at that point in time, from now in the 21st century, is just that the fact that it was already signed, that it was already sealed, it should have been delivered. You can't blame the snail mail for not being there on time. It should have been respected. That's one of the things I would have changed. Thank you.